education system must also ensure that all the remaining people should at least have a secondary school qualification with training for employment in agriculture or service sector. Now, I am going to talk to you what is called evolution of a national policy with reference to India. A national policy for creating a global human development cadre for India can be evolved through a national team, drawing experts from multiple ministries, including education system, experts from the three sectors of the economy, and various professional associations and societies. The evolution of such a policy in a time-bound manner will generate quality and knowledge and skills needed by all sectors of Indian economy and globally employable human resources. The aim of the education system should be to create employment generators rather than employment seekers, apart from building a research capacity. Now, friends, I would like to say a few words on employment generation through entrepreneurship. A three-pronged strategy is needed to make education more attractive, make it skill imparting, and simultaneously create employment potential. How to do that? Firstly, the education system should highlight the importance of entrepreneurship and prepare the student to get oriented towards setting up of enterprises which will provide them creativity, freedom, and the ability to generate wealth. Diversity of skills and perseverance in work makes an entrepreneur. It should be taught to all the students. In addition, college syllabus, even for arts, science, and commerce courses, should include topics and practicals where such entrepreneurship is possible. Secondly, the banking system should provide venture capital right from the every village level to the prospective entrepreneurs for undertaking new, small, and big enterprises. When I studied the performance of ICICI Venture, I found few entrepreneurs have increased their profitability many times in a less than 7 years, generating thousands of direct jobs and 10,000s of indirect jobs. We need a large number of such venture capital institutions who can take risk and promote entrepreneurs. This education system can bring out the success stories in the form of a document highlighting venture capital funding and the employment generation opportunities across the world. Thirdly, the entrepreneurs have to produce the competitive products for becoming successful in their mission. The experts here may like to study the role of education in improving the competitiveness index rating of the country to within the 10 ranks. Now I would like to talk about capacity building through education. Capacity building through education. When the students come out of the educational institution, certain capacities are required to be built in them to deal with the real world, particularly to grow in their professional career and participate in the national development. I suggest that the ingredients for capacity building must be embedded right from the beginning of the student's life, from primary education to the higher education. A good educational model is the need of the hour to ensure that the students develop as a enlightened citizen and also participate in the national development missions. For participating in the nation building task, the capacities required to be built among the students, the capacity required to be built among the students in their formative years for the educational systems are the capacity for research or inquiry, the capacity for creativity and innovation, the capacity to use high technology, the capacity for entrepreneurial leadership, and the capacity for moral leadership. These are the qualities education system built on the student. Let us see what is research and inquiry. The 21st century, present century, about the management of all the knowledge and information we have generated and the value addition we could bring to it. We must give our students the skills with which they find a way through sea of knowledge that we have created and continue with lifelong learning. Today we are empowered by technology to teach ourselves beyond classroom and become lifelong learners. This is indeed required for sustained economic development of the nation and also individual prosperity. The next one, creativity and innovation. The management of our knowledge in the 21st century is beyond the capacity of a single individual. The amount of information that we have around is overwhelming. The management of knowledge, therefore, must move out of the realm of the individual and shift into the realm of networked groups. The student must learn how to manage knowledge collectively and to work in multidisciplinary teams. When the information is networked, the power and utility of the information grows multifold, as predicted by Metcalfe's law. As an information that is static does not grow. In the new digital economy, information that is circulated across the enterprise creates innovation and eventually contribute to the national wealth. The third one is capacity to use high technology, as you have studied yesterday. Every student in our school and college should be brought in contact with technology to aid their learning process. Educational institutions should be equipped with adequate computing equipment, laboratory equipment, internet facility with high bandwidth connectivity, and provide an environment for the student to enhance their learning ability. In the midst of all the technological innovation and revolution, we cannot think that the role of the teachers will be diminished. In fact, the teacher will become even more important, and the whole world of education will become a teacher assistant and would help in teleporting the best teacher to every nook and corner of the country and propagate the knowledge. The teacher becomes a facilitator and knowledge manager. For full utilization of the available connectivities through satellite, high bandwidth optical fiber communication in conjunction with the technology like BMAX, the most critical aspect is the availability of quality content. I would suggest all the experts here to address this important issue and evolve a time-bound action plan so that the quality content is made available at the nodal point for access by the student, teachers, and desiring learners. The fourth point I'm going to talk to you, entrepreneurship. The aptitude for entrepreneurship should be cultivated right from the beginning and in the educational environment, both in the schools and colleges. We must teach our students to take calculated risk for the sake of larger gain, but within the ethos of good business. They should also cultivate a disposition to do things right. The inner being must be illuminated with righteousness. This capacity will enable them to take challenging tasks. The last one is moral leadership. Moral leadership involves two aspects. First, it requires the ability to have a compelling and powerful dreams of or visions of human betterment. Moral leadership requires a disposition to do the right thing and influence others also to do the right things. There is a need for inquisition of moral science class as a part of the education in all the schools and colleges, including professional colleges. This is essential for promotion of value-based education leading to enlightened citizenship. For building a capacity, it is essential to increase the teacher-student ratio, improve the quality of teachers, provide continuous methods for upgradation, and provide them with technology aid for becoming lifelong autonomous learners. I am sure the educational experts and policymakers may have incorporated these factors in capacity building program based on their experience. So far, friends, we have discussed about the education scene in our country, the necessity of global human resource cadre leading to productive employment generation, and the necessity of capacity building among the students to meet the demand in the global competitive environment. Fundamental to all these things is imparting quality and value-based education in the schools and colleges. Particularly, primary education is a very important creative component in the pursuit of higher education and capacity building. Quality input to higher education leads to generation of a quality human resource. Here I would like to share with you my experience while I was in college long ago, 1950 to 54. Education with value system. I remember the lecture given by the highest authority of Jesuit institution, Reverend Father Rector Kalathil of St. Joseph's College, Tiruchirappalli, Tamil Nadu, Southern India. Every week, on Monday, he will take a class for an hour for all students, for arts, humanity, and science students. Every week on Monday, he will take a class for an hour. He used to talk about a good human being, present and past, and what makes a good human being. In this class, he used to give lectures on personalities such as Buddha, Confucius, Saint Augustine, Khalifa Omar, Mahatma Gandhi, Einstein, Abraham Lincoln, and moral stories linked to our civilization heritage. In the moral science class, Father Kalathil used to highlight the best aspect of how the great personalities have been evolved as a good human beings through parental care, teaching, and companionship of great books. Even though these lessons were given to me in 1950s during my college days, they inspire me even today. It is essential that in the schools and colleges, irrespective of science, humanities, engineering, lectures are given by great teachers of the institution once in a week for 1 hour on civilization heritage and good human beings. This may be called as a moral science class that will elevate the young mind to love the country, to love the other human beings, and elevate them to higher planes. I talked about this model in my address to the European Parliament with members drawn from 27 countries. In some, inquiry, creativity, technology, entrepreneurial, and moral leadership are the 5 capacities required to be built through the education process. If we develop in all our students these 5 capacities, we will produce autonomous learner, a self-directed, a self-controlled, lifelong learner who will have the capacity to both respect authority, at the same time is capable of questioning the authority in appropriate manner. These are the leaders who would work together as self-organizing network and transform any nation into a developed nation in a time-bound manner. Next area I would like to talk about, now friends, I am going to talk about, finally I would like conclusion. How do I conclude? Ultimately education in its real sense is the pursuit of truth. Education is in real sense is the pursuit of truth. It is an endless journey through knowledge and enlightenment. Such a journey opens up new vistas of development of humanism where there is no scope nor room for pettiness, disharmony, jealousy, hatred, or enmity. It transforms a human being into a wholesome whole, a noble soul, and an asset to the universe. Universal brotherhood, it is in a true sense becomes the sheet anchor for such education. Real education enhances the dignity of human being and increases his or her self-respect. If only the real sense of education could be realized by each individual and carried forward in every field of human activity, the world will be so much better place to live in. At this stage, I would like to recall wise words of a great teacher, Acharya Shantideva of 8th century in Nalanda University, very famous university in the 8th century, and he was a professor there in the Nalanda University, Shantideva. His views on education was, he says, Acharya Shantideva says, may the right education be a protector for those without one. May the right education be a protector for those without one, and guide for all travelers on the way, travelers of education. May the right education be a bridge, a boat, and a ship for all who wish to cross the ocean of life. This is the 8th century professor from the university. I am sure the proceedings of World Education Summit will provide detailed guidelines for realizing the goals which are mentioned above by various governments of participating countries. Concentrated action by the policymakers, educationists, academia, and research will enable the nation to provide quality education to all the eligible students through Education for All program, leading to the creation of a global knowledge society. My best wishes to all the participants, success in their education mission, which is vital for the prosperity, peace, and harmony of every nation. May God bless you all, friends. Now, my lecture is in my website, www.abdulkalam.com. Okay? If you have any question, you can send me.